Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Zero coming at you with episode 30 of this MLB Road to the Show series. And season 2 has in fact begun here, as we are currently in downtown Minnesota for opening day for our series against the Twins. Now, one thing that I feel that I should in fact mention is that, well, Jose Ramirez is no longer on this Cleveland ball club. I also feel I should mention that that's just a bad swing and a horrible broken bat. But as I stated earlier, Jose Ramirez is no longer, in fact, on the team. He, funnily enough, is in fact on the team we are playing against today in the Minnesota Twins. Now, I'm not entirely sure what happened with the Guardians management and why they decided to trade away the best player in their franchise's history for these past, like, I want to say, 4 years? 5 years? Could argue Lindor's there, but Ramirez has decided to be loyal and stay with the team in real life. But they decided to, in fact, trade him, I'm assuming, because I don't see why you would cut a guy like Jose Ramirez. But yeah, they decided to trade him to the Minnesota Twins. So, odd decision, but what can I do about it? Absolutely nothing. That ball's foul. Blasted foul. But yeah. So a big part of this Cleveland lineup and Jose Ramirez is in fact no longer here. But that's fine, okay? As I need to, I suppose, now become a starter on my own. I won Rookie of the Year last year, and hopefully I am on my way this season, depending on how good I do, to win my first ever MVP.
And that's off the inside edge.
And it certainly will be tough without guys like Jose Ramirez to possibly drive me in, but it should not really matter in my mind, I don't believe. But yeah, obviously there you can see we have signed O'Neal Cruz, which, honestly, big addition coming in at shortstop. I'm assuming that we traded Jose Ramirez for Edouard Julien, because I know Julien played for the Twins. Great second baseman. The only problem with that, I believe, is that Andres Jimenez now doesn't really have a place in the lineup anymore, and Jimenez is one of the best defensive second basemen in the league. So that's going to be tough to just kind of lose his defensive abilities there. But Julien should hopefully bring a much larger pop in the lineup than Jimenez ever could. So that should, in fact, be nice. But apart from those two signings, I don't really think there's anything huge. Pitcher Shane Bieber's gone as well. That's kind of like the only other big news. Andy Ibanez, the other quote-unquote big signing, I suppose, is our new third baseman. So, do with that what you will, I suppose, as I am really looking to drive in a run and hopefully make this a tie ball game in a second here. But for the most part, this lineup's kind of been meh. That's a pop-up. Well, all of last year, the lineup wasn't really great around me. Gabriel Arias, our shortstop, was injured for much of the year. We signed Garrett Hampton to deal with that, but he's now gone in favor of O'Neal Cruz, as I've already mentioned. Catcher Travis DeOno was signed because Austin Hedges, our backup, was injured. He's gone, and for the most part, it's just not really been all that great, I suppose, in terms of the hitting of the team around me, you know? But it shouldn't really matter all the... Oh, great. Tanner Bybee. I didn't even realize that one. Didn't even take a look at that one. Tanner Bybee also goes to the freaking Minnesota Twins. So was he, like, also part of the Jose Ramirez deal, or did, like, he just sign with the Twins? I don't really get it. Like, Cleveland is not making some great moves with their players. Tanner Bybee was one of, like, the best pitchers for Cleveland his rookie season. He was second in Rookie of the Year, going to Gunnar Henderson, I believe. And he's just on Minnesota now. I know the CPU, when it comes to, like, management in these games and, like, trading players is odd and so wacky. That's a fly out. It's very weird because you can see guys just like Mike Trout. He's been on the Angels forever, and he'll be on the Athletics like 2 years into a sim or something, and you're just wondering like how that happened. Because in real life, the Athletics are just like tanking as much as possible. I'm out trying to go for a triple there. Most likely should have stayed at second, but I like to be greedy occasionally. That's a horrendous reaction.
And it's a one-hopper off the wall. Should be extra bases. Runner around third on his way to the plate.
Now that's a bad throw from the cutoff man there, but Carlos Correa hits a pretty big double as we look to most likely lose to the Twins here as we 10-7-1 lead. But yeah, the CPUs in the game, you see like a lot of weird stuff. So maybe things just kind of worked out that way with Cleveland, I suppose. Mind you as well, I'm still like not getting paid all that much. I think I'm on like a $750,000 deal, which obviously in like the grand scheme of things, maybe like a normal person's salary is a lot of money, but if you're talking about like baseball terms, I suppose it's not that much like a star guy. And I was the Rookie of the Year last year, so that's gotta count for something, right? But maybe not, as I do know that like baseball is weird with like the contracts it hands out. I'm still like on a rookie level scale, I suppose. But yeah, you just kind of feel like that guy that hit 36 home run, like a home run. I believe the statistic was just like because you can see like home runs per at bat or whatever, and mine was at like 8.3. Like that's like every 8.3 at bats, I was putting one out of the yard, which is mind-boggling. I played 76 games last year, a total of 76. I hit 36 home runs, and I had 7-point-something WAR. I was one of the best players to ever come up in the league in a while, and I'm now making $750,000. Whatever. The logistics just don't make sense, is what I'm saying, I suppose. And they're doing stuff like that. So, hitting bombs, extending the leads, 438, near dead center, but
promotes the
like,
switch hitting second baseman, Willie Castro.
getting paid like a scrub, dude.
Line to center. No trouble here.
I have the pop, I have the power, I have speed.
Come on, let's get one. Your pitch, right here, your pitch.
But again,
First pitch doesn't find the
doesn't
zone.
really matter, I guess, what you do. This game's not really going to be all that favorable to you, nonetheless.
Sliced hard but foul.
Oof. Bit behind on that pitch.
Next pitch is outside. 2 balls and a strike. And a curve misses outside.
3-1, 3-1. Really just kind of hope that this season Cleveland does in fact make the playoffs. That's a pop-up, that's great. I would rather not be a type that like sticks with one team his entire career and makes the playoffs like once or twice in his career. Yeah, let's say Cody here is on the Twins, so he's immediately punishing his former team. Yeah, I don't want to be a guy like a Mike Trout, or more recently, I suppose, Shohei Ohtani in that scenario where you're like one of the best players in baseball, but you never make the playoffs. Anaheim, now that I'm thinking about it, is just so good at wasting talent. Mike Trout is a 3-time league MVP, I believe, and I think has played in 1 playoff game in his career. Which is bananas to me as I fly out to the right fielder. But you have one of the best players of all time, and he's made 1 playoff appearance for you. He has over 10 All-Star appearances, 3 MVPs, and the main thing holding him back at this point, I believe, from becoming like one of the greatest of all time is literally the fact that he hasn't won a ring, and most likely never will, because his team is just mismanaged to hell. Shohei Ohtani was, I suppose, is honestly the future of baseball. Another one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league, depending on who you ask. Spent most of the first... That's a bomb. Oh my goodness. Upper deck. Oh my goodness. Okay, 437, 109 miles an hour off the bat. But Shohei Ohtani, one of the best players baseball has seen in ever, two-way start. He played for Anaheim and hasn't really seen a whole lot of success other than just the individual stats. You have 2 of the greatest baseball players of this generation, and you've made 0 playoff appearances with them. You've done nothing with them.
At the belt and fires. At the ball.
And it is absolutely sad that that's a thing. Anthony Rendon, who signed like a $300 million deal with Anaheim as a free agent in around like 2019, I think, after a solid start to his career with Washington, has now fallen off the face of the planet. You legitimately, like, don't see anything from him anymore. I mean, Rendon was a huge part of the Nationals World Series win against the Astros in 2019, I believe. But
Fly ball down the line.
just hasn't really done all that much anymore. And it's odd because you can just like even in like a couple interviews that are just online, he doesn't really seem to care all that much anymore. But we gotta, I don't know who's we in this scenario. I gotta focus on beating Miami.
Makes the grab, and runner tags for third.
Why are you Italian? You don't have the speed for that.
Cut down, and that ends the
You
inning.
do not have the speed for that.
Back here at Lone Depot Park. Now it's the power speed combo. Aiden Kerr.
And reevaluate your decisions there, friend. I don't need to reevaluate that swing. That's deep in right center. Yeah, we're gonna stay at second there. Gonna stay at second.
Just so sound in his mechanics. Hits against a firm front side, and the hands just continue to carry through the middle of the field.
Man at second. To third. Slides for the stop. Gathers and throws, and that's a great play for the out.
On those plays, I do often feel that I could just take off the third after the ball is thrown. Because no one's covering the bag. So it's always the thing in my head of like, well, in theory, if I am in fact fast enough, I could just get there. Not honestly the worst idea I have, but judging by like a lot of my base running gaps throughout this entire series, I suppose I really shouldn't try it.
Well, that's a strikeout, and that'll do it for the inning. One down. Jesus Sanchez, the next up for the Marlins. Swing, and that ball smashed on a line. Kerr grabs it on the run.
Well, Miami has now taken a 2-0 lead. It's always fun to just see stuff like that happen. It's just the middle of innings, you don't really know anything, and both teams are tied up 0-0, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, cool. I guess Cleveland's down by like 28 now. Obviously that's just a hyperbole, but it's odd to see a thing of like, you know, oh, 0-0, nope, it's 2 innings later, and you're down by 7. So I guess it is a thing of like anything's possible, but it just seems kind of odd. Not really making sense. They get no input on it. Like, obviously, a fielding situation's turned on, but like no ball got hit to me during that like 7-run inning. It was 2 7-run innings. Doesn't make sense, dude.
And it's easy to see why he's a key contributor for him.
Then again, what really does make sense in this game? So they went on a tangent earlier,
First pitch doesn't find the zone.
talking about how free agency and trades just don't really make sense in this game. It all sounded great coming off the bat, but I don't think it's gonna. Woo. Well then, home run, baby. And I am hitting a lot of home runs. So we already have 4. It's my 3rd straight game with a home run. Always fun. Always fun. Yeah, as I was saying, I suppose not a lot really does in fact make sense in this game. Yeah, again, we were just up 40-0 with my RBI ground out, and now it's like, oh, cool, you're 2 innings later, and 7 runs have been scored. He's out by a mile. Like, my goodness. But 6 minutes go by Miami, not a single ball was hit to me. And I'm crushing the ball today. That ball's gone as well, I think. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know why that wasn't a no-doubter. That was double deck.
His second home run of the game, and we're starting over. It's 6-6. That one just sounded different.
And might have been the loudest
Like,
moment yet. Man, my
I
ears
see
are ringing. I
birds.
don't feel that.
And now for the Marlins, Christian Bethancourt.
Imagine if I just hit one of the birds out in center. Or right, whatever.
Lined into
Or
left
right
center,
center.
base hit.
Just a full-on
So they get
thing
a
of,
man
like...
aboard with a one-out
Does the
single.
ball become dead at that point? Like, if it's a ball that, like, you know is going out of play, but, like, it hit a bird in the middle of legit
This
amounts
one
of
popped
pop-up.
up, foul ground, first base side.
But anyway, if it hit a bird, like,
Bell
right
makes the
before it was
catch.
about to go
And there's
out,
two away.
you know, and
So
for
the
whatever
batting
reason,
order
like, the
turns
laws of
over.
physics be damned, it just,
Chisholm
like,
Jr. to
fell.
go.
The ball just fell out of the sky.
Swung
Would
on,
it
belted. Curve on the move, heading back.
be considered, like, a
he
dead
did
ball at
bring
that
it in.
point, or...
Jazz around second, headed for third. The relay in there safely.
Just a very nice approach and swing right there to use the big.
Espino with his first major
It's a
league
valid
win.
question,
Yeah,
I feel.
nicely done. I'm sure he'll feel very good
I
about that. And
don't think the ball would just, like, be dead.
Aiden
Although
Kerr
the
digs in for
closest
the
we've come is when
Guardians.
Randy Johnson killed a bird with a 1,000-mile-an-hour fastball.
And the first
I
pitch
don't
misses
remember if
for
that was a
ball
spring
one.
training game or not. I think it
Getting
might
the
have been.
start in center,
But
hitting third in the lineup,
the ball's
and he's
just
a
dead
former
at that
Rookie of the
point.
Year. Swing and a drive, deep right field.
That's
That one
4
carried.
games in a row with a home run.
Goodbye, home run.
But
A monster
like, so,
shot to
if a
right.
batter somehow did in fact
So
hit
now
a
the
bird,
DH spot, Ryan De La Cruz.
what happens? What happens then?
Begins.
There's gotta be a rule somewhere
Rips
in the
that one
MLB's
center
rulebook,
field.
but it's always a thing of, like, you can't predict everything, you know?
Dive in, makes the grab.
One time, right now, kid. Here we go.
Though sometimes,
In
you
for a
really
strike.
need to
It's
predict
0-1.
things, I guess.
2 out, space is empty.
It's so outlandish, like a batter hitting a bird with a hit midair.
Right through there for a strike.
Love how
Something that's
vocal the
stupid, then
umpire
maybe
is
they don't have a
today.
rule for it,
No
but
doubt. In the hitter's mind,
something to
the
keep in
pitcher's
mind, I
and even the
guess.
pitcher's mind as to the conviction in the call.
He goes down.
That was basically taking all the way during this entire at-bat.
The catcher, Christian
My
Bethancourt.
goodness, was it a bad idea.
On a line, base hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
Good.
Perez back to work. And that's outside. 1-0.
Current baseball season, in fact,
And that one
isn't
fouled off.
that deep into it, but the Guardians in real life are off to a solid start. My goodness, what is happening? I am blasting the baseball.
It goes. He's done it again. His second home
But-
of the game. It's 2-0.
I have 7 home runs,
No doubt about that one, Boo.
and I think this is my 6th game played.
The next to hit.
Has anyone started the season like this?
And there's
Having
a rocket
more
into the
home runs than
outfield.
games
Good ball, you got
played
it. Round it. So they get a man aboard with a
after
one-out
like 3
single.
games. Just straight up after 3
Will
games. It's
Zane,
like,
he is locked in there.
Well, he's really
cannot
slowed
convince
the
me
game
otherwise that,
down.
like,
It's like he's moving in full speed and everybody is a step
a
or
player
two
has
behind. The way that
had
he
4
squared
home
up that
runs by the 3
baseball
game
tells
mark.
me
You
that he
can't,
is
well, you
seeing
probably
it
could,
like a beach
but
ball.
you probably find some statistic out there that's like, oh, this XYZ man
Takes off. Swing and a miss. For the
had
second,
like
save.
5 home runs by his 3rd game.
Chris
It's
Wheels
possible,
with a
but
difference maker on that
I'm
play.
6 games in now, and I've got 7
Yeah,
long
Statcast
balls.
help. We see his top speed on this
Anyway, as I was
base, and
saying
that's a
before I
big number.
wasn't
Man,
rudely
he
interrupted,
really
but
made his athleticism
was
work for
rather
him on
just
that one.
so happy with the fact I'm hitting the ball so well. The Guardians in real life are doing pretty solid. As of recording this, they have 10 wins. And they're overall just playing pretty good. The Yankees are the Yankees as always. They're always going to be good, or near enough, I suppose. Trying to always be good.
And there he goes.
Right.
Side. Johnston sizes this one up. Nabs it.
Dodgers starting off pretty well. Yoshinobu Yamamoto actually was not playing that well to start off the season, but he's gotten into the swing of things. And the Pirates have honestly come out to surprise everyone, as they usually do. They usually start off the season pretty solid. But yeah, season has just started. Also, Tyler O'Neill of the Boston Red Sox has continued his opening day home run streak. I think it's been 6 opening days with a home run now, which is insane to think about. But, you know, that's going to be all from me in this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to. And as always, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.